It's beginning to look a lot like alt season. Every day that goes. Welcome people to another episode of the Suppoman Show. Here with me, the Suppoman, back with you for another amazing episode, I hope. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about two things. Number one, have I found a better cryptocurrency for gains potential than Truebit? And secondly, when can we expect altcoin season? Because we have seen a very stagnant cryptocurrency market of late. When can we expect it to wake the F up? So that is what we are going to be talking about. So if you are excited, make sure that you smash that like button, please. I would be very appreciative. Also, if you haven't yet joined the congregation Church of Suppotology, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you can see the best of my cryptocurrency shouts and recommendations. Well, no, not recommendations, just shouts. And also hit the bell notification so you can be advised when I am going live. So, I actually gave no warning today that I was going to be live. So, therefore, I don't expect that there's many people that were prepared to see me live. So, I am now going to do my usual custom practice. And I'm going to share this video to the people of Twitter, because that seems like the best place, to be absolutely honest. And then we're done. Then that's it, really. All the sharing done. So, let's have a look. So, currently it's saying that we are at 94 in alt season index, right? Now, you are probably thinking, well, we're in alt season, but it's not much of an alt season. Like, why are my cryptocurrencies, i.e., a lot of the cryptocurrencies that are incredibly promising that I've been talking about recently, Convergence, Tidal, Labs, Saito, why aren't they absolutely rocketing? Why aren't they 3xing, 10xing? Why are they, kind of moving slowly, if not at all, if it's altcoin season? So, let me just clarify something to you. This is one of the only altcoin season indexes that there are on the internet, right? Now, what is altcoin season? This is what's classed as altcoin season as far as the data displayed is concerned. So what is altcoin season? If 75% of the top 50 coins performed better than Bitcoin over the last season, and a season equals 90 days. So over the last 90 days, you can see here that Bitcoin is pretty much at the bottom, 45%, compared to some of the incredible gains that have been achieved. So for instance, Doge, Solana, VeChain, Theta, XRP, some of these, ADA, and all that. A lot of the large and mid caps, strong mid caps that people have been knowing about for years and years are outperforming Bitcoin. I mean, there's no question about that. But what this altcoin season does not necessarily track is, what about the rest of them? What about everything outside of the top 100? So this is where I am going to bring you this information. Right, just before I actually do that, I just realised I didn't say hello to you people, and that, in my opinion, is very rude. So Dominic Shepherd was the first, Digital Sakura, Martin Lay, Michael Roberts, Alan, Naz, Jan, Saeed, Blair, Tanya, Lindsay, James, Marco, Canna Startup, T-Tory, Mohaned. Oh, Mohaned, good to see you here. Christian, Leo, Naren, Karan, Urban, Phoenix, Christelle, Carl, Daniel, Thierry, Create 3D, Az, Yazan, Patrick Stock, Allah. Yes, quite a few of you now the chat is really booming. Lindsay, Sando TV, JC, Yogi, Noreen, Eric, Christian. Hey Sergio, welcome to Red. How are you doing? Super, what are your thoughts on Armafy? I'm not going to take any super chats just yet. But I will come back to that. Thoughts on Armafy, backed by Alameda and Stack OS. Okay, Stack OS and Alameda, right? Okay. Oh, Lisa Marie's here too. Greeks, JC, Nadish. Right, okay, right. So, let's move on to this table here. All right, so the path to alt season. Now, I've shown you a very, very similar table before, graph before. Now, this is how money flows in cryptocurrency, okay? Now, what we have seen recently, even in the last 4 months, is we have seen Bitcoin making a trajectory move from 37,000 at the beginning of this year all the way to 62,000. So it's nearly doubled in price, right? So it's taken quite a bit of time for people to just stop talking about Bitcoin. Like, people are still, or were anyway, talking about Bitcoin, and therefore, that was a gauge of the interest in Bitcoin. Like, it's a reflection. Like, just because YouTubers are talking about Bitcoin does not mean that the money is going to Bitcoin as a result of YouTubers talking about it. Actually, what's happening is they're talking about it because there is still focus on Bitcoin. But that's disappearing. It's disappeared a lot recently, and more so now. Now, the focus is on Ethereum. So Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. Now, I have just begun to see this, right? I've just begun to see this, and this is a great sign. Because I remember very, very similar when altcoin season started in 2017-18, right? When it was like, Ethereum's is gonna surpass Bitcoin, so they're gonna overtake Bitcoin. No, it isn't, right? But people are going to speculate that it could happen, right? And that is an indication of phase 2, which is what we are in now. Money is starting to trickle into large caps where we see large buy-ups happening, all right? So we are seeing that today. Now, unfortunately, the top of the mid caps or large-ish caps that are growing is Doge. That's topping it. In fact, that's like bigger than USDT today, which is just unacceptable. But it's a sign of the times, right? So Ethereum's doing well, so therefore we are really moving into large caps now, because Ethereum has done a 3x in the last few months. It's done a 3x essentially. So we've had Bitcoin doing a 2x, Ethereum doing a 3x. Now, I believe we are making way for a super season. All right, we are making way for large caps to do okay, but really for the mid and low and micro caps to have the most incredible price surge coming up very, very soon. Bloody iPhone. Anyway, coming up very, very soon. All right, so I believe this is making way for a terrific summer. Like, the sun's out already. We're feeling warm. And this is an indication that we are making way for quite possibly the biggest alt season since the end of 2017 / beginning of 2018. That was like a flash season, right? It did go on for a few months, but really the all-time highs and the mega multipliers happened in a flash. And I believe we are going to see something extremely similar, this time round. I think that when I look back to the summer of 2017, I remember very, very well that you had Bitcoin doing well, you had Litecoin and Ethereum doing well, and Ethereum Classic. They were like the big coins back when I was just starting on YouTube. They started to do well, and that was paving the way for the summer of 2017, which is where you saw ant shares doing like basically 100x, and all the various cryptocurrencies that I spoke about in that period, of which there were many, and I can't really remember them at the moment. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that we, in my opinion, are now moving into a super season, right? And I think that it's going to be perfectly accommodated by Uniswap version 3, and that and also Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Matic, and all of these are going to enable people to buy tons and tons of altcoins for hopefully very, very good prices just in time. And I think that the narrative has a really weird ebb and flow to it. It's almost as if altcoin season is not really able to start until the conditions are absolutely perfect. Think about yourself, okay? You may be a relative veteran in cryptocurrency. If you've been in cryptocurrency 6 months, you're pretty much a veteran, right? Because 6 months in cryptocurrency is about 6 years, right? So anyway, so yeah, so imagine what you feel about Uniswap. You probably don't like it very much. You probably understand why it's good, because you can get hold of some incredible low cap gems, but you have to pay an arm and a leg for it, and because you may have been invested for quite some time, you don't care about the gas fees. But if somebody is wanting to invest $100, then it makes absolutely no sense that they also have to have another $100 just for the transaction to go through, right? So therefore, what we need is for essentially the ecosystem to accommodate low transaction fees and low congestion on the Ethereum 1.0 that we have got at the moment, and enable for a super season to happen. So I think that Uniswap version 3, which I think is basically right now on the verge of happening. Now you can get Bitcoin, Ethereum large caps on Binance, on Coinbase. You cannot get the most exciting cryptocurrencies right now on Coinbase or Binance, or even some of the other exchanges which you may like to use, like Huobi and OKX and other, largely popular exchanges, right? Only really it's Bitmax, MSC, MXC, and Gate.io. You could probably get some of the exciting coins, and even still, after the coin has risen because of it being on Uniswap, available immediately after IDO. So anyway, I think that a mixture of circumstances is going to make altcoin season quite possibly one of the most exciting times. And so I am not bothered. Like, what I have done, very, very similar to what I have done before, is I have been using this phase of quietness and stagnation to buy into the alts that I foresee being incredibly exciting. Like Saito. Like, my excitement on that. That was incredible. It 3x pretty much straight away. Because everybody, when they were exposed to that narrative and the exciting qualities of it, it shot up, right? And similar happened with, with Convergence and Labs and Tidal. They kind of 3x from my entry point anyway. When not Labs, because I didn't actually enter at that 4 cents, but I did eventually. But it 3x from the point at which I said I was going to try and get in, which was about 5 cents. Anyway, so I've used this period of stagnation to get into what I perceive to be very exciting cryptocurrencies, which have shown volume and interest in a large community in cryptocurrency and not been phased. This is the thing that I have definitely seen a lot in the Telegram communities and cryptocurrency communities, is just people are just so annoyed and so bored, I suppose. Bored with the fact that these low-cap DeFi gems or low-cap NFT gems have just not been moving. And it's like, well, why the hell not? Like Convergence. Convergence, I foresee as having the same kind of significance, magnitude as Uniswap, right? I see Convergence being such an enormous powerhouse. However, the conditions have not suited Convergence to grow. But Convergence has arguably one of the greatest, most breadthiest, and most hard to impress VCs invested in it. And I don't think that was for a payday. I personally think that that was a narrative that is a hodled narrative. Okay? So anyway, yeah. So you can look, and particularly today, a lot of cryptocurrencies have gone down in value, which, again, is an indication of money flow. Money flow is kind of darting around large caps and mid caps. They have been going up nicely, whereas the low caps, the least, tried and tested, least, I suppose, credible for the average whale investor anyway. The whale investor, tends to go for the large caps, right, and the mid caps, because they want wealth preservation in the main, whilst at the same time they want medium risk, medium reward at best. They do not want, kind of high risk, high reward. They don't want that. Okay, we are the ones that get at that stage if we have the balls to, and then what happens is they do get in when the money flow goes into the small caps at that point, right? So we have been intelligent and ahead of the game in that respect. So a lot of cryptocurrencies which today have shocking prices, like Digital 16 cents, which is just idiotic in my opinion. ACDX 61 cents. Hedget 8. Well, it's not that bad. $8. Sif Chain 61 cents. Persistence. Okay, that's done quite well, but still a low cap. And Chain Guardians and Convergence. Wow, look, 9.5 cents. So you can see that this is accumulation stage. Now, of course, I fully expect that people are going to be like, oh, it's not really moved, I'm not going to bother, I'm going to sell now, and all that, annoying stuff. But actually, the smartest thing to do is to either accumulate or have what you've got, right? Don't bother swing trading it, you could lose. So that would be my personal strategy anyway. Look, conversion today is 50 million. It's basically a micro cap today. So anyway, yes. So in essence, I believe we are actually making way for one of the biggest altcoin super cycles coming up very, very shortly. And essentially, I would encourage you to maintain that patience just a little longer. Because let's face it, until we hit euphoria, which we are nowhere near at the moment, until we hit euphoria, this is not the end, right? And who knows when the end is going to be, but either way, this is not the end. We're going 2 steps forward, 1 step back at the moment. At the beginning, back in January, we were going 4 steps forward, 1 step back, all through January and a bit of March. And then for NFTs, doing the same. But in the main, we have been going 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We have been growing, but we've not really been growing. We've maintained just over a 2 trillion market cap for a while now. When did we first hit it? We first hit it around about, it was March time. March time we hit 2 trillion. So we have been essentially hovering around 2 trillion. We've been essentially hovering around 2 trillion now for, a month and a bit so far, right? Which is, in cryptocurrency terms, a year. Well, what the? But we are nowhere near euphoria. And the bit in between is altcoin season, right? And then afterwards, at euphoria, a last altcoin season. It's not really a season, right? Because it doesn't last 90 days. It's just like a flash. More than likely, it's going to be the new money coming in. Boom, everything goes up. And then crash, everything goes down. And then we sell and we're out of it for a while. Well, depends on what you want to do. But anyway, so in between that, we are going to have what I would believe to be a 90 to 120 day altcoin season, which will filter. It won't start with micro caps. It will start with mid caps going down to low caps and then micro caps. And then from that point, then it will charter back to Bitcoin season, so it will just start to do this, okay? So it'll be the decline down. So although there's a decline, what this decline means is that they're still growing. Altcoins are still growing, but actually Bitcoin is beginning to outgrow, right? So at the point I would say at the crux of altcoin season, it will be a case that Bitcoin will probably have around about 29-30% dominance. So all the altcoins get their time in the sun. And then Bitcoin will start to fight back on its trajectory towards 100k. And then it will start to go into Bitcoin season. And then we'll probably be seeing the tail end of the cycle. All right. I think that we're probably about halfway between the beginning of the bull cycle to the end of it. I believe we're kind of halfway now. Yeah, about halfway. And I think that we are, I think that but that last half is the most significant half. What we had, if I just show you now, right, if we just go back to this video here, which I published, you can see here, 11th of January, you can see the humongous difference in prices. Look, Bitcoin, 37k, Cardano was 30 cents, Ethereum was 1300, Polkadot was 927, Chainlink 16, Uniswap was 592. VeChain was 2 cents. It nearly got 30 cents the other day. Neo $21, now it's 100. Well, we won't worry about Dash. Solana, 342. This is my god tier coins list. Solana was 342, now is over $40. So anyway, so we have seen the growth. But I think that what we are going to be seeing very, very shortly. Oh, this is weird, really weird. There's like two of us. Anyway, so I think that we are going to see. I personally believe, I'm not a fortune teller. You would think so based on my predictions, but I'm not a fortune teller. But I do foresee that we're going to have the significant half of the bull market coming up. I think it's going to be very, very good. Right, let me just take some Suppo chats. I'm not going to take too many, so don't come in flying with them. I will do a longer stream tomorrow. Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. So let me have a look. Armify. Alright, it will be alright. Armify, from what I understand, has got some decent venture capitalists. And of course, Alameda are one of the ones that I do respect. But, you know, so this is the reason why I've never really bothered about it, is because it's 51 million already. Like, why would you not just go for Tidal in that instance? You know, 3 million volume, it's not that bad. It's been around longer than Tidal. Tidal has not yet had a season to bring it up, you know? Contrary to it being alt season, apparently. Come on. Right, let me look at other super chats in the meantime. StackOS in partnership with Saito, yes, I saw, and they had a mutual rise. I saw that StackOS went to about 15 cents and Saito went to about 2.5 cents or so. So yeah, that was a great partnership, and I was very happy to see two. Well, I've brought them both up recently. That both have done really well and both have partnered up with each other. Maybe I brought them together. Who knows? AS, I want to put a large bet on a microcap, RS happy or something else. That is up to you. I'm never going to answer that question for you. I get a lot of people saying, Superman, I got $200, I got $1,000. What shall I put my money into triple it? I talk about coins every day. It's up to you to have I suppose for you to kind of think, oh, I love the sound of that. Super, it sounds great. That is what I want you to. I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm just going to ape into a coin. Because that, to be honest, annoys me. I just seen, it's not a super chat, that somebody said too many coins. Too many alts is a big problem, Suppo. Well, what you've got to remember is that it's all relative. You know, when the market, when the bull market of 2017 was happening, like the 24-hour volume was in the tens of billions back then. It was in the tens and sometimes low tens, like 11 billion or something in a day, right? So it was relative. The amount of coins and the amount of volume was all relative. So we had 1,700 coins back then and about, let's say, 11 billion of daily volume. Now we have got 9,000 tokens and we have got over 100 billion a day. Let me just have a look. It doesn't say right there. Well, today was 254 billion. But anyway, it's relative. There's 10 times more cryptocurrency, so there's 10 times the amount of money going into them. So it's almost, a very similar situation, if you think about it. So the good cryptocurrencies are going to be the ones that rise higher, and other cryptocurrencies that are a little bit meh are just they're going to rise, but doesn't mean they're going to rise like dramatically. Anyway, so Armify has been out. Basically, it came out in the midst of DeFi season. So as far as I'm concerned, it's had its growth. That took it to a new kind of echelon. Check out WASDA IDO. I'll do that another time, I should think. What do you think about Definity mainnet this Friday? Can you look at this? Johnny, thank you for the contribution, but no. Because Definity is going to be, essentially 10 times to 100 times bigger than a microcap. So there's just literally no point. I don't cover those kinds of cryptocurrencies on this channel, I'm afraid. is it a viable strategy to follow downward money flow, i.e. invest in high mid caps and compound into low cap gems? If that is how you want to play it, yes, of course. I mean, I did that in 2017, to great success. But as far as I subsequently found out, there's massive tax implications because you're doing a load of short-term holds, and if you are in a country like the US or the UK, then you get charged 50% on your trade. So it's really not worth it. As far as I'm concerned, I like to have long-term holds. But you can, of course, do that, and it's not too bad. But you got to understand that the market is not linear. It's not easy to just think, oh, I'm going to put money into Ethereum and see how that's going to do, or I'm going to put money into Cardano and see how that's going to do, and then it doesn't really grow, and then actually, right underneath you are all those microcaps are growing. It's like it's a hit or miss scenario. So I just think best thing to do, stagnant market, go in when nobody's really talking about them. What's your thoughts on RLC? I don't know RLC. I obviously know, well, I don't even know CTSI. I know that a lot of people have been. RLC? Come on, mofo. I exec RLC. It's junk. This is on Coinbase Pro. Suppo, good afternoon from New York. Can you do a review on LP3 Leprechaun? No. It's very unlikely. Have you looked at KPA's new IDO? I haven't actually looked at it. I will check that out. Pinth's protocol. Price prediction for Tidal and Stack OS. I think that Tidal could achieve $20 to $25, if not more. As for, $2.50 to $3. I don't know necessarily about $25. As for Stack OS, I haven't looked into it enough to be able to give a price prediction at this point. But I would probably say it's going to at least 20x. Just given how it's currently grown. Right, okay. So, I don't see any more super chats. So what I'm going to do, and again, this is 346. No point in looking at this. So I'm now going to bring up, so I have said, so if we just have a look at our favourite coin, which we spoke about yesterday. And let's see how it's doing today. Alright, it could be alright. Let's have a look and see how Truebit is doing. Thoughts on internet computer known as Definity? Again, not interested. Come on. The coin market cap is going very, very slow. Please can you have a better look at Vortex DeFi? I will do so tomorrow. Make sure that you come tomorrow and ask them, because I'll be able to do a better. Have you looked into Shadows? Right up your alley. I have looked into Shadows, and I have to say it's a big fat disappointment. I'm more bullish on, continuing to be bullish on Linear, Beyond, and Perlin. Your thoughts on cross-pad finance? I gave them yesterday. Not a lot, to be honest. I'm really pretty annoyed with. I'm not interested in launch pads. Right. What did I want? CoinGecko. Because it's quite clear that CoinMarketCap is just being very, very rubbish today. So let's see if we can get Truebit on here. What the hell, man? Utter joke. There we are. Truebit. Let's give it a gand. Check out King Jong-moon. How about no? Right, here we are. So, Truebit. And this is basically 24 hours since I brought the last video. And it's the same price. It's the same price. And what I've noticed is that the 24-hour volume, as expected, has basically 10x'd down. Like on the first day, that people were really excited about this. This was around about 750 to 800 million in trade volume. Now it's 81 million, right? Now it has gone down to about 66 cents today, and it's gone back up to 80, but I'd essentially say that this cryptocurrency gets less and less attractive because it's it's pretty much going to be an inflationary cryptocurrency. Like, they are going to be adding a lot of supply. It's going to be 500 million in the not too distant future, which at the current price level would make it a $500 million cryptocurrency. Now, I don't give a shit how exciting it is. I don't care how great the technology is. That, to me, is completely outside of what I am interested in at all, right? So, what I have deduced, essentially, I mean, it's pretty obvious. So you don't need to be a rocket science to deduce this. But there's now an appetite. So, as with Solana, as with Avalanche, as with Polygon, you know, when a particular ecosystem is put to the forefront because the leading coin, the market leader, is doing so well, the interest and the money flows right to it. Now, the new narrative is, of course, layer 2 optimism rollups. Okay, so I brought you Truebit, an analysis of Truebit yesterday. Right, now, there are ZK rollups, there are plasma scaling solutions. But as far as optimism, and optimism is definitely the infrastructure for the next, or should I say for the next versions of Ethereum platforms. Okay, so for instance, Uniswap, exchanges, where in the main it's Ethereum-based tokens. So optimism, based on its suitability for smart contract-based cryptocurrencies, it is looking like it's going to be a front runner as far as enabling for the A, for altcoin season, and B, for the next versions of the best technology out there, for instance, Uniswap, right? Now, Truebit, in my opinion, is uninvestable for me. Now, of course, if you want to get into Truebit, if you want to ape into it, then I guess it can't hurt, because this could, I don't personally think it will, but it could actually do incredibly well, could get into the top 100. Again, don't really feel it. But anyway, there are not many layer 2 optimism roll-up cryptocurrencies out there. There just aren't. And I would say that Synthetics utilizes it, but that does not mean that you are investing in optimism. You are essentially investing in a platform that uses it. It's not the same thing. It means that it's a better platform, but it doesn't make it. It doesn't mean that you're investing in the tech. Like with Matic, you're investing in the tech. You're not investing in something that uses the tech. You're investing in the tech directly. So when the tech gets better adoption, then you are going to see the potential rises of that. Now, there's another one. It's called like altruism or something like that, and it's powering like Huobi, OKX, and some of the exchange platforms, but you cannot invest in it. So as far as I'm led to believe, there is just one more that is optimism rollups that is not Truebit and not altruism, or whatever it's called. It's this, Habitat. Now, Habitat, at the very moment, is 8.4 million market cap, which makes it tiny market cap, all right? Now, it's got a lot of volume, which has been achieved in the last, I would say that this has come as a result of, I think Chico talked about it, but also it's come as a result of the optimism narrative that has just recently blown up. So this was a cryptocurrency that was $6.26, at a high about $6.30, right? And even recently, today. Right. I wasn't looking at the max, okay? So this was $6, right? And today it was $5. Now, given its 2 million supply, right? This has essentially been 12 million and 10 million today and has since fallen off. So as you can see, it has been largely hovering around this $4 line. And this was before anybody was even caring about optimism. Like, nobody really cared, probably until this point here, Saturday. Nobody really cared. And from that point, it has had a bit of a spike. But having gone down now to $4, this is essentially just an $8.4 million market cap cryptocurrency. And it is a 2-to-1 ratio. All right. So what is Habitat? All right. So Habitat is essentially a optimism roll-up cryptocurrency. Okay. So these guys are enabling for any cryptocurrency project to essentially plug in their roll-up technology. Okay, now they have got a particular word for it. I think it's called... I'll go down and have a look at it. I want to call it nut something, but that just sounds really, really bad. So anyway, yeah, so this is how it works for them. All right, so they have already got 2 businesses working on it. So Strudel Finance, not necessarily very successful, but it is a DeFi yield platform. And then LeapGov, which I think is quite old and has an Ethereum grant. But this is a new project, okay, brought out by the people who essentially have been working in the Ethereum sector for about 3 years, okay. So this is how their technology works. Essentially exactly the same as what we were looking at with Truebit. Okay, so they bundle transactions from domains. So the transactions are happening. Obviously, Habitat is the kind of technology powering it, and what happens is that they feed into an optimistic roll-up, which takes the information off of the Ethereum mainnet, rolls it all up, gives it back to Habitat, so that there is 0 or very, very low gas fees, and there is no congestion on the Ethereum mainnet. Now think about if Habitat had actually been like CryptoKitties. So if between the Ethereum mainnet and the CryptoKitties dApp there was optimistic rollup. If they had that back then the network wouldn't have crashed, the gas fees wouldn't have been so high. At the time of transacting, the gas fees were supremely high, higher than I thought was conceivably possible as a newbie at that particular time. So they are optimizing optimistic rollups. From what I can see, the only other cryptocurrency other than Truebit that are doing it. So if you were wanting a low cap cryptocurrency, if you were wanting a low cap cryptocurrency, literally under 10 million, with a 2-to-1 ratio of volume, that is an active project that have got active developers that are actually utilizing optimistic rollup. Plus, at the same time, what they have is they have all sorts of plugins for any ecosystems, any growing cryptocurrencies. They've also got a kind of governance structure for them to plug into as well. So they've got a community as well as tech. And this is very, very beginning. Now, what I will say is the reason why I don't necessarily find this massively attractive is because this is a fair launch cryptocurrency, okay? So they decided not to take any contributions or any seed capital from venture capitalists, okay? Because they wanted it to be 100% fair launch, community governed. And as a result of that, this has got a very small community, right? So again, very, very under the radar this. And just because VCs couldn't get into the funding rounds of it doesn't mean that VCs won't ultimately get into this cryptocurrency. And given that it is one of very few, off-chain labs are doing it, and they are the guys behind altruism or whatever it's called. But it's not, they can only invest in off-chain labs. They can't necessarily invest into altruism. This is the only other one, other than Truebit, which has got really bad tokenomics, that you can get into. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a good one. This is a good one. Now, I think this is, again, one that kind of has the potential to grow astronomically as a micro cap in alt season. Okay, because who knows what's going to be powering Uniswap next? It could be Truebit, it could be Altruism, it could be anyone essentially that are utilizing optimism. Or they may just get the tech. They may just develop the tech themselves. I think that I may be crashing somewhat. So anyway, so there we are, people. So Habitat, $8 million market cap at the moment for essentially same technology. I think it's called Nutberry. That's what the name they've given their optimism roll-up is called. Hi, Suppo, I'm here. It's from India. $159. Thank you very much. Hope you can check out Wilder World on polkadot. I think it will look like artwork. I think you will like the artwork. I know you tried to look at it last stream but couldn't. Also, tell me your thoughts on Pink Node. I don't think I'm going to have time to be able to look at both. I can look at Wilder World. Or try to look at. Let me go to polkadot and maybe I can actually access the websites via there. I think there were a couple of other super chats. Let me just check it out. Oh, hold on. Let me see if polkadot actually does show them. Wilder World, right, okay. So if I click into it, will it take me to it? Oh, at last! I actually found it this time. Time! Super needs to upgrade his internet package. It's not my internet. It's actually my laptop, which is a MacBook Pro. You wouldn't think it, honestly. Okay. Wilder World. Okay, so Deontay Wilder World. Apply as an artist, apply as a collector. Okay. Let's have a Gand. Welcome to the future. We have fun and games. Inspiring digital artworks. Let's have a look at this. Start building your collection from the world's best artists. Oh, great. Is it going to be able to even handle... Ooh. Well, that looks nice-ish. Actually, does it look nice? It's animated photos. I like this one. Ah. Yeah, no, it's nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. It's very good. Yeah, Wilder World. Wowza. Yeah, certainly what I saw yesterday looked really shite. And I think that one of the narratives that are going to do really well in altcoin season, well, there's two, I think. I mean, you're going to know them. DeFi and NFTs. I think that NFTs are going to have probably the better season, personally. I think DeFi is not very sexy. Like, as far as... You know, Refinable showed it, right? Everybody was interested in Refinable because Mr. Beast and their favourite creators, you know, Gary V, Logan Paul, Mark Cuban. Oh, there's been so many. Like, that's just tip of the iceberg. There's been so many various, you know, celebrities that have been shilling NFT collections. And, yeah, and I think NFT is going to do really well. So the best platforms... with good names and good VCs can do really well. So, created for artists, owned by artists, no fee, sell digital art, easily mint NFTs directly from your wallet, no platform fee, set your own price and parameters, decentralized, community owned. Let me have a Arbitrum, not whatever I said it was. Let me have a look and see on my Whale app. See who is in Wilder World. It should actually be down here, but I don't trust that it's going to load up properly. Nothing came up. Hold on. Oh yeah, there we are. They've got no one. But my whale app isn't necessarily 100% up to date. So let's see if we can find that info. Take a walk on the wild side. No, it's not there. Okay. Interesting. What a gripping life you do lead. And let's have a look at the other one. Pink node. Ether Mon. Alright, Mon. Cheers, Mon. Let's get rid of Deontay Wilder, because that's just slowing me right down. And this is possibly, quite possibly, one of the worst quality streams in human history. Gateway to the polkadot ecosystem empowers developers by providing nodes as service solutions. Oh, right, okay, so this sounds like it's Anchor for polkadot, essentially. So I imagine, why is it that polkadot projects are able to get decentralized nodes for their service, therefore enabling them to be decentralized? Which sounds great if that is actually what it is. More developers, more applications, more users, streamlined onboarding process, connecting projects to the polkadot or Suppoman network with a custom pink node powered line of code. Hard security by fulfilling the roles of a validator. No deployment, jumpstart new networks. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. And I imagine that as a node, I'm imagining that people can set their own node, can be a node on the network and therefore earn some rewards from it. So yeah, they look like good projects. So thank you very much, Ania, for a megarific contribution. Now, would I invest in either of them? Like, if they weren't on Polkastarter, if I had a chance to invest in them at seed stage, I would invest in Wilderworld. Purely from the point of view that it looks like pretty good quality. Yeah. There we are. Why is Polka Foundry pumping? I think probably because it deserves to. And also it is on a Rococo parachain. I think that may be it. Let me just check my phone. Because this probably has better... Check out Kim Jong-un. I'm not going to check it out. Like, it's just done. But you've put it in my chat and I've mentioned it. So people, if you want to check out Kim Jong-moon, Kim J on BSC, then as a potential, what's it called? As a potential safe moon competitor, then please do so. What do you think about Mogul Productions? Price 10x cheaper than its initial price. It's media. It's not really... I looked at it. I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like it. So I'm not really surprised it's 10x down. Because it's not really what does well in cryptocurrency. Right, people. That is it for today. Shortish stream. But I hope that it was at the very least useful. And you learned something and are excited about certainly around about the midterm future. Anyway, I love you all. You are excellent. Thank you for everybody super chatting today. And... make sure that you are there tomorrow because I am going to be doing a longer stream. So, I will see you of the next time. It is lights out, all out.